5. Please stand clear of the doors.
I've been thinking this week about how important it is to embrace different forms of art. The biggest cliche I think that the world has is that we're very scared of things that we find different. We don't want change and we don't want new ideas. I actually had a friend the other day say in response to that that's more of an older generation point of view. And yeah, that's right. Like, I think it's an older generation point of view. A lot of younger people my age, are more interested in what's new, what's different. But I also find that a lot of people my age are not interested in different forms of art. They want anything that's mainstream, anything that they're being told is good. I've started getting back into Taylor Swift's music, and I've never been the biggest fan of hers, but when I listen to her music, I can see and hear the genius. She's an excellent songwriter. There's no denying it. And the fact that she is re-recording her entire catalog of music that she doesn't own herself is phenomenal. It's something so ambitious that, with so many people saying to me at least that it's just a ploy to get money, you can't help but respect her for it. I attribute a lot of that war on new music versus old music to different types of cinema. Film encompasses all different types of genres, all different types of styles. And I've been made fun of for watching short films constantly, every day. It's a little different than what most people do. But I go to a school where that's what we're doing. We're making short films. And when you watch or listen to something that you're interested in making, then you will get proper ideas to be successful in that thing that you're making. I watch a lot of experimental cinema, not because I feel like I have to, but because I genuinely enjoy it. A lot of it can be quite pretentious or seemingly pretentious, but I like the poeticism of visuals telling a story that words can't. Being a very visual learner and thinker, seeing ideas on a screen where images in sequence reflect emotion is something that's very difficult to do and something that requires a lot of deep thinking and analysis. I also went to what is now my favorite bookstore, called ACADIA Books. And it's probably the nicest place in the sketchiest area I've ever been in. So when I'm walking there, I'm running to there, and then that's my safe haven so that I don't get jumped. But ACADIA it's a beautiful bookstore. It has 2 cats. And when I was in there, it smelled like shoes, and I kind of like that smell. It just smelled like antiques. And it gives off this beautiful cottagey vibe, something that feels like very welcoming. I actually found a Robert Louis Stevenson short story collection. I'm very excited to read it. Collecting is like taking notes, though. So when I think about collecting books or music or films, articles, anything, I think about it as like taking notes. Something that you can always look back to for inspiration. For the longest time, I was always into rock, metal, alternative music. And then this transition into pop music. And my transition from, blockbuster films into the underground world of experimental cinema, it has introduced me to all kinds of different ways that art can be passed on to one another. So when I say that, I mean like there are pop artists out there who take inspiration from metal bands. And there's blockbuster films that take inspiration from experimental cinema. A good example that I can think of, I think it's the beginning of David Fincher's Seven, or basically any beginning credit scene of a film uses experimental practices to create something visually interesting. And like you can really see influences between experimental films and blockbuster films like David Fincher's, Christopher Nolan's films. I've brought this up before, but Old by M. Night Shyamalan, he talks about how he was influenced by some Australian thrillers that came out in like the 70s. You can't tell me that you won't watch an old movie because who the hell cares about those movies when 90% of films made today take inspiration from those movies. Growing up, I've always been very interested in learning new things, things that a lot of people probably wouldn't be interested in themselves. In art, it's important to have an open mind to diverse opinions and perspectives because that will make or break your work. And I truly and honestly stand by that.